How's it going, guys? Joe here. Today I'm going to try to continue the Fitbit development series. So, without further ado, let's just get started. So, I haven't really been able to work on it for a while just because I haven't had that much time. And I've also been kind of having trouble with the actual correlation between what the Fitbit sensors are reporting and what's actually going on. I'm having a hard time with it and I don't really want to spend that much more time on it. So what I'm going to do instead is something that may or may not actually work. So in case you didn't know, Fitbit does have a built-in feature that tells if you're awake or asleep. However, the reason why I didn't just jump to that before is because it only updates it every 5 minutes. So if I happen to be awake for like 3 minutes, within that 5 minute gap, it may just stay asleep the entire time, which is not great. But that's one of the reasons why I was going to try to do the sensor, because I figured that'll be more accurate than that. However, because of the amount of time I have to work on this, I think it actually makes more sense for me to at least try that, which would be better than nothing. Because it might actually work well enough for what I'm doing without doing all this sensor stuff, trying to figure out like, oh, no movement, high heart rate means REM, and then no movement, low heart rate could be light sleep or deep sleep. Rather than doing that, because that got really complicated, I think I'm just gonna stick with the absolute basics and I'm gonna go back to logging what we used to log every 30 seconds. I'm just gonna have it log whether awake or asleep, just to see if that is reliable enough and actually try it out for a couple days. And then if it works, I'm just gonna run away with that. I should still be able to do the same concept, assuming it detects things properly, whether I'm awake or asleep. So why don't we try implementing that now? So I'm just going to do it based on whether the Fitbit itself reports awake or asleep, and just hope that it's reliable enough with its 5 minutes of delay in between. It only checks once every 5 minutes. No matter how many times you try to figure it out, it only checks that many times. That's the problem. So, but it might still be good enough for what I'm doing, which I never really considered. So since I don't have a lot of time and don't want to spend a lot of time on this, I think it might be enough to conclude this. So there'll be probably one more part after this if that actually works. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get started. So I'm gonna be controlling the scene from my other screen because it has trouble with doing things that are in or out of focus. So yeah, it's not great that it does that, but it's the best I could really do. So I'm just gonna go with it. So right here I've got, I think, our most recent code. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, there's all the different buttons that we have. Or buttons? No. Now this is our code right here. This is other code. I have a feeling I'm going to be taking some code from this eventually. And thinking about it now, it's probably not going to be tonight, but it will be eventually. So yeah, where do we begin? I haven't done this for months, so I kind of forgot where we are. Might as well pop up the simulator and give that a try so I can remember exactly where I am. So I'm gonna be actually reverting a lot of code back. Oh, I gotta sign in over here. It's using an old-fashioned sign-in. Like, this look familiar? This look like something I would have done 5 years ago? It's doing that, so in a way, I question the security, but whatever. I'm just gonna sign in, and for security's sake, I'm gonna mute my microphone as I do it. Okay, then I just unmuted it just to make sure. So now I gotta do two-factor authentication on my phone. Is it me? Yeah, OSX. Then I just say that I've responded from my phone. I think it's okay to show this. Yeah. Okay, now the simulator is working. Not sure if it's like re-downloading or what's happening. So, oh, there we go. So the phones only, no devices. Device bridge not connected. Why? Oh, you bastard. Don't show my email. Well, I'm gonna trust you guys not to spam. Does it say the device bridge not connected? Why? Does this need to get updated or something? Yeah, the sense is what I want. I'm gonna restart this. I hope this doesn't take too long tonight. That would be really nice. Okay. Fitbit OS simulator. Only doing companion. Is it possible that just because I haven't used my actual Fitbit for the longest time with development, I'm just gonna turn on the developer bridge here to see if that helps at all. I don't even know if it still has a connection to the Wi-Fi at the moment, but maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It's working. How this go with this, even though it sucks compared to the simulator, I can't show you. Maybe there's an updated version of the simulator. Yeah, I think the code is right, but I think I'm gonna downgrade to what I think I did around this time. So on my GitHub, that's what page I'm on right here, the github.com/Disney23, Lucid Dreaming, whatever programs. Yeah, you just go to the Lucid Dreaming one, it'll be on my main page. And then you go whichever revision I've done. This is some old code that I may end up referring back to. Possibly like when I used to log every so often. That's what I'm gonna go back to where I used to log. Wait a minute. Why did it have to bring up an entirely different page? Oh my. Well, it's not the fastest, but I guess it's not the slowest either. So what version do I have now? That's this one. I think that's this one right here. I'm gonna try to install this version. So then I'm gonna have to open up my applications folder. Delete that. So I think that's how you delete an application. And then here, I gotta drag this in. And just like that, I got a new version installed. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, that's... Okay, so I'm gonna have to enable it. That did work. I don't know if this is gonna actually work or if I'm just gonna have to skip using the simulator. Technology is malfunctioning basically, and this didn't take very long. Why? Why does it not work? I can see my device, I just cannot see the simulator. Wouldn't be because of the SDK, is it? I can't imagine that doing anything with it. Why does Fitbit OS simulator say bridge or device bridge not connected? Oh yeah, sure. No, it doesn't. Liar. I'm gonna toggle it away and then back on. Or just see if it works when doing it this way. Oh wow. Still doesn't work, so no, this isn't gonna fix it. About on here. Can't see anything right now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be pulling some old code from this most likely. And it's okay, because I got the latest version. Probably here. I'm pretty sure this is the latest version right here. If it's like the right number of lines, it probably is. Yeah. 361. Maybe I'm gonna wanna update this. I'm gonna add it under, I don't know when, today's date. How about I'll add it under yesterday. I know it's not really under yesterday, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think it'll be easiest. So I'm gonna pull up GitHub. Um, let's see here. Uh, so then, sorry, I'm just adding something to GitHub. Okay, so I think I'm up and running for this. So the code that I have right where yeah, here. I'm just gonna back this up under yesterday's date because I don't want to like have two under today. I just want one. So here I'm just gonna create a new folder. I think it's that's a new file. Actually, oh, that's the name of the file. So then that is wrong. So I think a folder that I just had the wrong keyboard shortcut. So yeah, Shift A, then 26, 22. Then inside that folder, I'll just call it index.js because that's all I'm backing up. And I just pasted where we are now, which is all this. So yeah, that's all of our code right there. And then, yeah, so then I'll just say added update since I gotta capitalize each word. Added update since the 10/21/21, since apparently I didn't do that. Okay, so now we're backed up to GitHub. There we are. So this is what I just added. So we're good as far as that goes. So now we can overwrite this code, not feel guilty about it, because I can go back to here and grab it if I need it. Nobody submitted an issue, I don't think. Nah, I opened that. That's just kind of a welcome thing if people are exploring this. So I think I want to take the code from this, and since there's a resources folder in here, I'm gonna want to grab that as well. So kind of sucks that there's no download button right here. I mean, I know it's not usually meant to be used that way, but adding a simple download button wouldn't be that hard. So I'm gonna retrieve this with github.io, because what it could do is you could take a URL and it'll download a folder as a zip file. It's pretty nice. So yeah, so I'm gonna remove this one. Oh, do I want to add this resources to it? I just have a folder, so honestly it's probably not that big of a deal. I'll download this project. Um, then I'll just copy the resources to, actually I could go like this. Boom. So now it's green, so that means that needs to get updated. I'll remove this folder since that's all I needed it for. So now, I'll just call that added resources with a capital R right there. So now, whoops. So now we should have that folder in this one here. Yeah. Now that's updated. So now I pulled that one already from there. So I think what I'm gonna do is on our program, get rid of that. What have I done? No problem. I could just go like this. Boom. Now we got the resources as of that time. Then I'll copy the code as of this time too. So I'll go to raw, select all, copy. I don't know if that's the way it was meant to be done, but it works. And since stupid simulator's not working on the device, I'm gonna have to do it this way. Boy, we haven't really even got started yet. This is not going well. However, I always say if it's very rough at the beginning, that means it's gonna go really well later on. That's what tends to happen. If it goes well at the beginning, then it's gonna get rough later on. So this could be a good sign right here. So let's see what we get. So I think this is, yeah, an earlier version. There's stuff that I could be taken out, but I'm not even going to. So when does it log data? Oh, so this add data int. Since I don't really care about this right now, I'm just gonna so the check second, when does that get triggered? Okay, so I'm lost here, so I'm actually gonna disable this. So I need to remember that I just did that. I don't have any other lines like that, do I? I want to make this obnoxiously long because that's what tonight is. So then this I'm just going to have on the outside and have it run once every second. So it should log something every second if I run it like this. Wait, did the Fitbit disconnect? No, I think it's because I went on a different page. This is not going well, and I feel like this is an absolute mess. So that only worked once. But why? Oh, because it resets. So I'm gonna, so this isn't what I want to do right now. I want to do this. And then same down here. So I know what I did tonight. I think the interval keeps resetting, so I'm trying to get it to not reset. Sorry, I feel like I'm very disjointed and also not explaining things very well. This is terrible. Still only went once. Oh, we gotta clear the interval. Oops. See how disjointed I am? What the heck? It'll be fine. This is like honest content. It's not idealized or anything like that because that's just not how things work. So, it's adding a thing every second now. Perfect. So it can scroll as well. But what I wanted to do instead of, I still want the logging mechanism to work the same, but instead of, instead of logging this every however often it does it, I still want to do it every 30 seconds, but only if it reports awake. Does that make sense? So, I think there's a, yeah, so right here, you can do like if you can do a sleep.state and it could be either awake or asleep, whatever the Fitbit detects. If there's like 5 minutes of no movement, it'll say asleep even if I'm awake. So that's one of the reasons why it wouldn't be all that reliable either. But since I'm not really getting anywhere with really anything, this is so much better than nothing. I think it might be. That's why I'm gonna log the data, see how reliable it is. Why did the app close itself? Maybe I closed it. Hopefully that's what it is. I probably did. You might have remembered, and with your fancy technology, you could rewind and see. So, yeah, so what I wanted to do is if it's awake, report awake. If it's asleep, report asleep. So, the thing is, I kind of only want to do it if that is the case. So I might want to put this in an if statement. Actually, first, let's get the log format working good. So this get time is correct, and then here I can, this is where sleep.state goes. That'll be either awake or asleep. And then, yeah, so if I try doing that now, that's what it'll do. It'll just should stay awake like I would expect it to, right? Yeah. It says a time followed by awake or asleep, whichever one it is. Sorry, it's kind of hard to do that, but you can see it says a time and then awake. That's how I want the log to be. And if the sleep.state is asleep, it'll say asleep rather than awake. Still scrolls. Something looked off for a second, but it's the position of the digits. So, yeah, whoops. So that works. Can't really think right now either. I'm a disaster and disjointed tonight. What's causing it to quit out? Interval off. Hours off plus 0. Okay, so I hope I close that out. I'm gonna open it up again because if it keeps closing out, that's aggravating. I'm sure I was closing it out, but I still don't remember. So, this average HR is greater than resting. I kind of feel like leaving that mechanism alone for tonight anyway. I may leave it alone forever too. I don't even know. It depends on how much time I want to actually spend doing this stuff. So it records the sleep state. But I think what I want to do is an if statement. I want to put this all in an if statement that says if sleep.state equals awake, then it only reports. This will only happen then. This probably isn't the most efficient way to do it, but if it works, that's all I care about. I'm not about rules and standards and stuff like that. If it works well enough, it works well enough. I don't care. So, still on. Good. And of course, it's taking a while to scroll down. Yeah, I figure if it only reported what it actually reports awake, then it'll be less painful to deal with. I'd only have a certain amount of data points that I have to reference. That's the important ones. Anytime it's asleep, I don't care what happens. It's probably asleep in that moment. So it's still logging. Brilliant. So let's change that to asleep and make sure that it doesn't log anymore. Don't tell me that my new mouse is now doing that double clicking thing like my old one used to do. So sometimes whenever I would double click, or whenever I was single click, it would often double click like what was just happening here. Could have been my finger doing a weird reflex thing. That's entirely possible. So yeah, now it's not doing anything at all. So let's try awake and make sure that does still work. Yeah, sometimes if I click once, it'll only do it twice, and that gets aggravating after a while. Now it's reporting awake. Brilliant. So I think all we have to do at this point is get it to work the way we want. Get it to work at the right interval, and then we're done already. So I want to minimize how much I mess with this mechanism. So yeah, sleep.state can change at any time. So we're good as far as that goes. So let's see here. If I randomly freeze, I apologize about that. Seems to only happen on this computer. On my streaming computer out there, it doesn't. It's very strange. It does sometimes, but far less. So I kind of question if it's something on the Mac that's causing that. So anyway, okay, how do I not sneeze here? How do you avoid a sneeze? I forget how. Maybe if I just focus, then I won't have a reason to sneeze. So I think that works. But now regarding the time, Um, it looks like I'm crying. It's because it was originally supposed to be a sneeze. It's upset that it couldn't get out. So it's not me crying, that's my sneeze crying. Um, I think this is still correct. But the delayed start. Oh, wait a minute. So this I'm gonna ditch. Well, maybe I'll do it for like, so 900,000. How long is that? 900,000 milliseconds. That must be like 2.5 hours or something like that. Right now I don't want there to be any delay. I'm just gonna add the comment again. I'll probably have it be like 10 minutes in the end. So, I guess I'm gonna make sure this still works. I'm probably still gonna use that in the same way. Um, I'm gonna uncomment that. I think that's what I want. So it runs every 30 seconds. But the initial amount of time is however long it is. One other reason I'm disjointed is because I haven't done this for months. Okay, so the second's 41, so probably wondering what is that thing behind me? And you know what I'm talking about. That thing. Yes, I'm not. I would never get a job as a weatherman because I can't even point in these situations. If I had to list a weakness in a job interview for a weatherman, I point out that I suck at pointing. I wouldn't get the job, say the least. So that's definitely not gonna be for me. But yeah, I received it as a gift. It's supposed to be basically lucid dream decor. I also have some lucid blocks out there. Oh no, what did I just do? I guess I have multiple tabs open in Finder. Still not reporting anything yet. That's concerning. Maybe I just forgot to trigger something. We'll catch up later on. I promise. Because we're gonna have to wait for a while once I get this going, but I want to get it going because it's not. So, check second. Oops. I wouldn't mind using that search instead. Actually, the search that's built into here can kind of highlight everything at once. Oh, that's why. So let's run this, and then we'll catch up. So it's deploying. You're not really missing out on much. So yeah. I also have lucid blocks out there. It's blocks that spell out the word lucid for lucid dreaming, of course. And I should probably do a reality test real quick. Bear with me 1 second. I think I'm awake, but if you're a lucid dreamer, don't take my word for it. Oh dear. Um, I'm having a digital watch glitch, or how ironic is that? Um, from a lucid dreaming perspective, that's very ironic because I'm doing the programming. It's it's logging however many times per second. I think it's got some infinite error going on. I determine I'm not dreaming, and then my watch starts glitching because I programmed something wrong. Um, it's doing it too many times. Does that setting this at one have anything to do with it? I doubt it. I should probably close out the app intentionally because I don't need it to keep suffering. Oh no. It won't even close. Oh, now it did. Good. Um, why in the world would it get stuck on that? So it's during the interval. Why is it doing it so often though? What the heck is going on here? It's doing it more than it should. Sorry, I wasn't thinking for the past 20 seconds. I dozed off a bit. I apologize about that. I'll get around this somehow. Why is this running so frequently? What if the millisecond just happened to be like 999 or something like that? Or the second's 25, so only 5 seconds to wait. Oh, but it kind of skips the first, whatever. The millisecond could have been the wrong millisecond with the end time and start time. That's entirely possible. So suddenly running like 1 millisecond interval or something. Let's see if the same thing happens. If it doesn't, then it's probably. Oh, it is. It is. Stop. Abort. What is going on here? Add data int. Well, what's triggering add data in the first place? So it does clear the interval. I kind of start to question whether it does, though. Wish I knew how many intervals were going off at once. Let's see how often this runs. Second. Is there a keyboard shortcut to make it run? I'm gonna try some shortcuts next time, see if there is. So check second. It's not running at all. Why is it happening so often? Check second is not supposed to be running that many times. That's probably what the issue is. There's, it's only supposed to do it once per second. That probably correlates with the problem. Check second's only supposed to run once per second. So look at it from the troubleshooting pathway. So start, delay, delay, start. That's probably running a whole bunch because I put one right there. I wouldn't mind just giving it 1 second. I'll just give it 1 second. Now we'll see if it does that. Second's 26. We kind of lucked out right there. Is it checking the second anymore? I think it is. I think that's supposed to happen. Yeah, it was happening like way too many times before. Ooh, it just reported 2. Why is it's running twice now? Well, that's a lot better than it was doing before. So check second. Delay start triggers it. Delay start triggers it. What the heck is going on? Whoa. There, just logged like 30 times or something. What is happening? Why are there so many instances running? Oh, no, delay start. Runs and then it clears. How many times is it really running though? And then I'm gonna want to take out check second. The console log. I think I already did that, I guess. See, I'm not even keeping track of myself here. So I couldn't even remember doing that. Second is 01. What a tough start. So it delays start. Is that supposed to run as many times as it is? I think it's running too many times. Delay start is running too many times, I think. It's supposed to just run once. The whole point of delay start is just to add a delay before it starts the second check. But it's running this many times, so there's probably 60 different intervals going off right now. Oh, and get this. It still hasn't stopped yet. I think I know what's going on. I bet I've been having this probably the entire time, but it wasn't an issue because it was only happening once every 2.5 hours. So it only did like 3 or 4 of them. I noticed at the end of the night, there were duplicate seconds, but only a couple of them. This is a problem that I've had for a long time. I've had this problem the entire time, I think. The reason why I think it's happening is because this is what I'm supposed to clear. Start delay, not delay start. I'm not even clearing that interval. That's what's happening. Wonder how long that problem's been occurring for. Now it's only happening once, as it should. So that's good. Check in a second. Let's see if there's... You can press Command R in Mac to run it. Good to know. So it's a very quick way to run it. It's starting up. Seconds 47, so... Wow, I wonder how long this error has existed for. Go back to the previous live streams and see. Ooh, it only ran once. That's what's supposed to happen, I believe. Now I can talk about. So, Dream Decoder. Those interested in exactly what it is, you might be able to do a reverse image search on it, taking a screenshot of my video, or else maybe this will help. Forget exactly what it's called, but you can figure out the name from this box if you're getting one yourself. Does this help at all? That's whatever it is, that's what it is. And then Lucid Block, I can't really reach it out here, but blocks, let's say LUCID, several reality tests you could do with that. The second is 1 second off, but it's doing it every 30 seconds now. That just about concludes the stream. Also, for those who wonder what I was doing here, it's the optical reality check. You can find it on the lucidguide.com. And I'm thinking of making a video showing what happens for me when I'm awake versus when I'm dreaming. I used it today, actually, expecting that I was awake, but it turns out I was dreaming. So I got lucid from that. I was so sure I was awake. I was like telling someone in the dream, I gotta do a reality test, or I gotta check if I'm dreaming. I kind of said it in a sarcastic tone because I was sure I was awake at the time, and then we just laughed. But then I was thinking, I've been missing lots of dream. I've been not recognizing a lot of dreams because I tell myself I need to do a reality test, and then I don't take it seriously enough to get lucid, so I always have to assume that it could be a dream because there's been quite a lot of times where I didn't get lucid because I did a reality test during the dream, but I did it so passively I didn't notice the fact that I was dreaming. So pay attention to your tests if you're doing them. But today I did it assuming that I was awake, and then the oddity happened, and I was like, wait a minute, this is actually a dream. I couldn't believe it. Like, usually I can tell before I do a reality test if it's a dream, but today that wasn't the case. And this proved that it was a dream. So I'm grateful for that. So yeah, I'm gonna do a video, first person view, showing exactly what happens when I do this. And maybe I'll put a link in the description if I end up making that video. or showing in the future stream. I don't know. So yeah, this works. The second is 1 second off. That's bound to happen. But I'm going with this. So I'm gonna delete that console log. You're not missing out on much. I'm gonna also delete those extremely long, obnoxious comments too, because I got it the way I want. Fine, if you want to watch it, here it is. So I just deleted 3 comments right here. This is what I was doing 3 or 4 times. Is this like comment deletion porn? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to deploy this one more time and then try it out. And in probably a couple days, I'll check if it works. So, and then we'll make it so that I can actually use it if it is reliable enough. So yeah, see, I talked about that dream, talked about the lucid blocks. They haven't shown up in my dreams yet. What's interesting is, out of all the months I've been in this apartment, I've only had a handful of dreams in there, and the layout is not even close to correct yet. So one of my reality tests is literally checking the layout of this apartment. It's one of my last ones. Because, yeah, it's ridiculous. I've only had a few dreams that took place in this apartment, and yeah, the layout's not even close to correct. So my house is pretty accurate usually, unless I'm lucid and decide to find and explore secret tunnels and rooms, but that rarely happens for me. Guess you have to have years of experience to have accuracy, at least for me. This apartment's actually fairly minimalist too, so strange that the layout should be wrong. So yeah, I think that about wraps this up. So let's see if it reports at the 30-second mark. It hasn't yet. There we go. So yeah, it works. So now I'm just gonna try this out, and hopefully it reports awake and asleep accurately. Oh, also, the one thing I was gonna also point out is this shirt. It does relate to lucid dreaming as well. So this is Daniel Love's merch. You find it on his website. I think his channel too, the Lucid Dream Portal, and these are the brainwaves of the first scientifically proven lucid dream. I think it was Dr. Keith Hearn in April 12th, 1975, I want to say. Hence why Daniel Love promotes International Lucid Dreaming Day for April 12th. So, yeah, these are the brainwaves for the first lucid dream, and probably what happened for me when I realized I was actually lucid, even though I was very sure I was awake. It was weird because I was in a setting that looked like a place I'd been to before, and I told the dream character about this, about how trippy this is. I was like, I gotta check if I'm dreaming. They just kind of laughed a little bit, and then they continued talking, and then I was like thinking, I should probably actually check though, because yeah, I've been failing to get lucid with that recently. So then my first check fails, then I do this, and then it's like, actually, this is a dream. So I was so sure I was awake. So yeah, anyway, that is going to be it for this live stream. So it went terribly. So anyway, Um, I guess if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to let me know. I'll try to get to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, yeah, I think that's it. So thanks for watching and have a good one. Peace. Mine. There we go.